Hello, and welcome back to CryptoAnna. In this video, we'll talk about one of Ethereum's biggest competitors, the Avalanche network. The Avalanche blockchain's primary objective is to give programmers a strong platform on which to build smart contracts and decentralized apps. Its architecture places a strong emphasis on scalability, speed, and support for many tokens and cryptocurrencies. The goal of Avalanche is to support the development of a robust blockchain network in order to accelerate the uptake and use of decentralized applications. It aims to lower technological barriers so that users, including developers, can utilize decentralized protocols and services without being constrained by the limits that are frequently present in centralized systems. Ethereum's issues. Even though Ethereum is a popular smart contract platform, its expansion has not been without challenges. Network congestion brought on by periods of high traffic renders modest or quick transactions costly for many users by raising transaction fees. Furthermore, confirmation times may become unbearably slow. This draws attention to the blockchain trilemma, a persistent tension in blockchain design that we have already looked at. Specifically, attaining simultaneous optimal scalability, security, and real decentralization. The fundamental innovation of Avalanche is a novel consensus and network architecture designed to minimize this trade-off, offering a speedier and more cost-effective blockchain experience without sacrificing security or decentralization. Mechanism of consensus. Avalanche consensus, the consensus mechanism, is a special kind of proof of stake. It employs a technique known as repeated subsampled voting, or repeated subsampled voting in Tagalog. It is employed to quickly come to a decentralized consensus regarding network transactions. How to do it is as follows. Rather than every validator in the network taking part in every validation round, subsamples, or smaller groups are chosen at random. Validators poll the network several times inside each subsample to determine whether a transaction is valid. When a strong threshold of consensus is reached among the various subsamples, a transaction obtains enough confidence. By doing this, each node's continuous message broadcasting is avoided. Quick decisions are made with nearly instantaneous finality, which makes it nearly impossible to reverse a committed transaction. To put it more metaphorically, picture a sizable gathering of people attempting to make a swift decision. Until a clear consensus is formed, randomly selected groups have mini conferences and report their decisions regularly, as opposed to everyone speaking their ideas at the same time and causing chaos. This kind of unanimity has a number of benefits. The most important factor is speed. Comparatively speaking, the process becomes final much faster than networks that depend on consensus from every node to every block. Scalability. It achieves successful scalability by supporting a larger throughput, transactions per second. Security is independent on a few powerful miners or validators. Network security is achieved by making it harder for malicious blockchain takeover by random selection for validation duties. Avalanche, like other proof-of-stake networks, uses a lot less energy than proof-of-work, which consumes a lot less. The primary drawback of the Avalanche consensus is its technological complexity compared to certain competing distributed models, which could first intimidate new network users. 3 characteristics of Avalanche. Avalanche uses 3 networks, each of which interacts differently, to accomplish its objectives. An exchange network called the X-Chain is the first network. Its function is to act as a platform for specialized asset exchange. This is also the location where any other tokens issued inside the Avalanche ecosystem can be traded, including the AVAX token. Its main focus is on inexpensive, quick, and safe token transfers. It streamlines these fundamental operations by employing a distinct consensus process from other chains. This type of consensus is known as an optimal one for directed acyclic graphs, DAGs. This structure, which is straightforward to understand and use, does away with traditional blocks and permits continuous transaction processing. This makes token transfers extraordinarily quick and affordable, making it ideal for its function as Avalanche's exclusive asset exchange. Next up is the network of contracts known as the C-chain. The C-chain will operate quite similarly to Ethereum if you are familiar with that platform. It keeps the environment in line with the viral machine of Ethereum. This implies that programmers can port or construct decentralized apps and smart contracts that are compatible with Ethereum. Adoption of this network is largely dependent on how well it works with the Ethereum virtual machine. Large DeFi protocols and NFT projects that are now in place can be moved to a new digital location with little technological effort. This is also the P-chains, the platform's network. Turn. Consider the P-chain to be the structure supporting the entire Avalanche system. It manages routine functions such as validator coordination, subnet tracking, and allowing anyone with sufficient AVAX tokens to become a validator. Here, security is the main concern. This chain promotes the system's decentralization and general security, even if it has less to do with actual user activity. As opposed to monolithic blockchains, in which many operations compete for the same resources, Avalanche divides important network components. This lessens the chance that a particular kind of activity, like the unexpected release of NFTs, could make it more difficult for network assets to be exchanged. Subnetworks. The next significant Avalanche mechanism is called subnetworks, or subnets in the English language. They stand for an original method of scaling. Correspondingly, transaction costs started to rise as C-chain gained traction. Subnets function as specialized miniature blockchains inside the larger Avalanche ecosystem, which helps to reduce this issue. The benefit is in the isolation and flexibility. With the security and compatibility of the main Avalanche network, developers can establish a subnet with their own rules, their own token for fees, and unique requirements for validators. Using Avalanche's voting process, each subnet separately maintains consensus, but the subnet validators also contribute to the core network security by fostering decentralization throughout the system. Specialized subnetworks can handle their own traffic, enabling projects or organizations to customize their blockchain knowledge. This promotes the development of creative use cases and applications, which expands the Avalanche ecosystem as a whole. The token AVAX. The primary coin of the Avalanche network, AVAX, has a number of functions. Through the use of AVAX, users pay network transaction fees. The tokens are subsequently burned to lower their total market supply. Holders of AVAX tokens have the option to pledge them in order to take part in the consensus process of the network and get paid for assisting with security. A minimum of 2,000 tokens are needed to operate a validation node, and 25 tokens are needed to be a delegate. By voting and offering tokens as collateral, AVAX holders can take part in the network's governance and decision-making procedures. On the X-chain, AVAX can be used to create new tokens and assets. In the several subnets that Avalanche has built, it also serves as the primary unit of account. The maximum amount of AVAX tokens that Avalanche could issue at first was 360 million. However, as of right now, it is 720 million. To compensate those that pledge their AVAX to support the network's operation, fresh tokens are generated over time. Every time a transaction is made on the blockchain, a piece of AVAX is also irrevocably destroyed. It is noteworthy that there are fewer tokens in circulation than the maximum amount. Among the 40 biggest cryptocurrency projects, AVAX has one of the lowest supply levels in use as of early 2024. As a result, the token may be less able to generate future profits and could become a very volatile asset. Although AVAX has several applications, the Avalanche ecosystem is not closely linked to it. This is so that subnetworks are free to choose which token to use. Many of them even select their own. As the current tokeno equals mixed does not mandate that subnetworks pay for their AVAX operations. Thanks for watching.